LG OLED is one of the most popular televisions you can probably buy right now. I don't think anybody's going to argue that. However, there are reasons why I personally would not buy them, and today I'll be giving you the top 5 reasons not to buy LG OLED. So, I'm going to read from my little list here, and we're going to start from the top. The number one thing that I have here is the 11-year-old color. I cannot stress the importance of this. This is probably the biggest reason to avoid LG OLED. See, 11 years ago, they came out with their very first OLED in 2013. And since then, the color has not changed much at all, to the point of literally being stale and stagnant, selling you the same television every year for 11 years. Outside of incremental adjustments and brightness to the point where we are now, where there are grandiose adjustments to brightness on things like the G4, that's a great thing. Brightness is good, but none of it comes at the cost of your color. And it always does with a WOLED, which is why I don't understand this, oh, it could get as bright as the S95D conversation. The S95D's brightness would be pointless if it ruined the color. I think we can all agree that the color advantage of the S95D in tandem with the brightness allows for this wonderful thing called color volume to kick in, which allows you to see better expressions, better shades of color, at higher levels of luminosity, which the LG just cannot do, and that makes it a dated TV, 11 years by my accord. The next issue that I would have, I don't even need to look at the list because I kind of already know it, would be dynamic range issues. I don't care who you are, you've run into dynamic range issues on LGs. They have this tendency to either crush black levels on the older ones or to open up shadow detail just way too much on some of the newer ones to the point of looking just downright hazy. If you take the video I did with the LG G4, you can see a perfect example of this, of how things just looked hazy. You need a considerable amount of experience to peel away from the industry standard that already exists, because that's the way they calibrate. Now again, not everybody is a professional calibrator, I completely understand that. But if not even the professionals are getting it right, the average Joe doesn't really stand much of a chance. Now, again, me being a professional that knows this and goes beyond and makes my own in-house calibration standard, I've gone beyond what LG's limitation was, but that's something that only I'm doing right now. And I think that's ultimately going to be missed by a lot of people in the LG market, and for that reason alone, I think the dynamic range issues you can find are just going to be absolutely huge. Now, the next thing for me, again, we're on reason 3 right now, why I personally would just not buy an OLED from LG is, simply put, it's a gradual annual decline in their audio department. They used to come out with some kick-ass Harman Kardon sound, they used to have beautiful subwoofers and things of that nature, and now we don't have that anymore. What we have is something that's kind of downgraded from that, to the point where it's literally just the subwoofer, like 2.1 or something like that, but a weaker version of it. They always say they have like these upgraded numbers, but the numbers aren't there. Now, unfortunately, what this means for you is you're going to be paying a lot more money and you're going to be getting a lot less. And ultimately speaking, I don't think there's a soul alive that would want to do that. Now, the next thing that I would say outside of that would be the dim game mode. So the conversation of NVIDIA versus AMD is irrelevant at this point. PS5 or whatever console you use, doesn't matter. You're going to have a dim game mode. LG struggles notoriously from this. Even on the G4, I've shown that off, even comparatively to the S95B. Okay, it just has dim qualities about it. So even like the most brightest model they have, which is where they're putting all their money this year with the G4, kind of useless to say, hey, we have a bright OLED with the G4 because game mode was really dim. So you're losing in the gaming department. Let's count up our losses, okay? We're losing in the gaming department with our brightness. We're losing in the internal audio department comparatively to what LG used to provide. We have this weird built-in cable, by the way. Can't stand it, because if you wall mount, this cable is so short you can't even do anything, and if you have pets or children, having a short cable that's built into the TV where if that cord gets damaged, your whole TV is gone, is not ideal, especially emphasis on the pets part. And then we have, again, dynamic range issues, and then the most important thing, you're at an 11-year color disadvantage. There, at this point is literally no point in buying LG until they kind of stop being tone deaf, right? Change something other than the remote and the UI, which, spoiler, they haven't changed either, and go into the future where we are today, because the technology is available. They just don't want to adopt it for whatever reason. If Sony can do it, I'm sure LG can do it. And again, it's time, right? Now, these are my personal reasons. I'm sure you have yours. If there's something I've missed on this list, make sure you add your reasons down in the comments below. And if you think I'm bugging, hey, let me know that too. Thanks so much for watching, the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.